Hey guys, it's Bob from the Wealth Trinity. Today I wanted to share with you my 5 steps for losing weight. As part of my 100-day challenge goals that I'm currently in, one of my big goals is to hit 165 pounds before switching over to a plant-based diet. I'm just going to talk about the weight loss right now because I have been on the biggest tear of weight loss I've ever accomplished in my life, since having to worry about it in my adult life anyway. I got up to 201 pounds after my hip replacement, which was way too heavy for me, and currently I'm more than 30 pounds down from that. This morning I weighed in at 170.6. So I wanted to share with you how I did it in case there's other people out there struggling with their weight. The plan of attack I've had has been it's extremely simple in theory. In practice, it's a little bit harder. It does take some determination. So I'm just going to jump right into it. Number 1, you need an exercise plan. I'm not going to give you an exercise plan here. If you have any questions, you can definitely ask me. But very simply, you need an exercise plan. You want to lift weights 3 times a week. Let me write this down first. So you want to lift weights 3 times a week for a half hour to 40 minutes in the gym or in your home or whatever. That's something you're going to have to figure out on your own, or like I said, you can ask me and I can definitely give you some advice. On the other 3 days, you're going to burn 200 calories. That can very simply be a 40-minute brisk walk, which is what I would suggest. I would not suggest cardio or anything intense like that. I mean, some people can get away with some high-intensity interval training for like 20 minutes. Your goal here is to burn 200 calories, and like I said, I would suggest just a 40-minute walk. Put your earphones on, listen to music. I listen to self-help. I'm busting through audio books during my workouts, during my walks. Right now I'm listening to the 10 Times Rule by Grant Cardone. Seems awesome so far. And then your 7th day, whatever day that is, you just want to take off. You know, it can be an active day, but you don't want to have to force yourself into doing anything strenuous or active. You don't have to walk if you don't want to. You don't have to lift if you don't want to. So got that? 3 days of lifting, 30 to 40 minutes, and 3 days of burning 200 calories. This is all about calories in and calories out, okay? So number 1, exercise. Number 2, you need to figure out how many calories are going to work for you. To lose weight, you need to be in a caloric deficit. And I know people hate to hear counting calories. But you know what? If you are unhappy with your weight and you want to make a change, you're going to need to do the work. And part of that work is counting your calories. So let's come up with a simple plan on how you're going to lose weight. Like I said, I'm down 30 pounds. This does not matter if you want to lose 5 pounds or you want to lose 100 pounds. We are going to take this in chunks of 20. So for example, let's say you weigh 300 pounds, you want to lose 100 pounds. You are going to set the math up for 20 pounds less than what you are now. So you don't want to try and go from 300 to 200 in one shot. You're going to go from 300 to 280. So how do you figure out what you need to eat? You want to take your goal weight, 280, right? Your maintenance calories are 15 times every pound of body weight. Sorry, I just did that in my head. So to maintain a body weight of 280 pounds, you need 4,200 calories. I'm going to erase this and put it up a little higher. Now do this with me, whatever your goal weight is. If you're 200 and you want to be to 180, do this for 180 times 180 by 15 and have your number. This is for somebody trying to get to 280. That is their maintenance weight. To lose weight, you're going to take your goal weight and times it by 10 to 11. We're going to do it for 10 because this person is much heavier and wants to lose more. If you're down in a lower weight, and you only need to lose 10 to 20 pounds, I would say to take your maintenance weight, or take your goal weight and multiply it by 11. For this person, we're going to do 10. So they want to be 280 times by 10 is 2,800. So for the duration of their weight loss endeavors, they're going to aim for 2,800 calories a day. So they are going to be in a 1,400, I don't know why I'm writing pounds here. They're going to be in a 1,400 calorie deficit per day. 3,500 calories is 1 pound. This is all about calories in and calories out. This is going to work for 95% of you. I don't want to hear that your metabolism's slow. I don't want to hear that it's genetic. Most people think that their weight is genetic when really it's just eating habits passed down. Sure, there are people with thyroid problems and there are people with issues out there. This is for the majority of the population. So this person, our 300-pound individual, is in a 1,400 calorie deficit, right? So what are they going to lose? 1,400. If they do this for 6 days of the week, I'll tell you why 6 in a minute. I really need a new marker. I apologize. They are going to be in an 8,400 calorie deficit for the week. So that is, divided by 3,500. That's about 2 1/3 pounds per week of body fat they will lose. Will they lose muscle? Yes, probably. We'll get into that in a minute. So that is how you lose weight, okay? Now, of course, if you're a 200-pound individual, and let me do this. I'm going to do it for somebody who's 200 pounds, just to show you, because you're going to lose weight a lot slower if you're lighter. That's just the way it is. So 200 times 15, your maintenance is 3,000 calories. Okay, I messed up. Let's say you're 220 and you want to get down to 200. So 200 is your goal, 3,000 is your maintenance, right? You want to go for 10 calories per pound of body weight. That's 2,000. So you are going to be in a 1,000 calorie deficit per day for 6 days a week. So that's 6,000 calories per week you're going to be in a deficit. That's almost 2 pounds. That's about, a pound and 2/3, whatever. 7,000 calories would be 2 pounds. So as you can see, as you get lower in weight, you're going to lose lower. That's it. It is that simple. You need to learn how to count your calories and you need to do it correctly. All right, on your 7th day, this is 6 days a week, on your 7th day, you want to eat at your maintenance. I'm not going to call it a cheat day, but you want to eat at your maintenance. So if you're that 200-pound individual, you want to eat that 3,000 calories per day. Without getting into the science of it, it's a good idea. Let's just forget the science of it and just say it's to keep your sanity in check. Okay, so it's very simple math. Number 3, how do you all of a sudden go into this caloric deficit and not fall off the wagon? This is what I've used. You do not have to use this. And I have much more detailed videos. I'll put a link to this in the description if you want to watch a more detailed video. I'm just going to touch on it real quick here. Intermittent fasting. Now, that's been a buzzword lately because a lot of people are using it, and you might get the wrong idea that it's like some sort of trendy diet like the Atkins or the South Beach diet or whatever. It's really not a diet at all. It's just an approach, a strategy. What that means is you are going to eat, you're going to fast a certain portion of the day and eat all your calories in a small window. Why that's worked for me, I'll tell you what I did. I do what is called a 16-8 intermittent fasting schedule, meaning for 16 hours of the day I don't eat, and then 8 hours of the day I do eat. I used to try and spread my calories out on 6 to 7 small meals per day, and for me, it didn't work because once I started eating, I was always hungry. Now, I go to bed, my last meal is at 9:30 at night, which is not a meal, it's just a little snack. The last time I eat anything, I consume any calories is at 9:30 at night. I go to bed shortly after, so boom, there's a nice easy 8 hours of not eating. Of course, everybody fasts while they're eating unless they got a feeding tube, right? So when I wake up, I have pushed my first meal off to 1:30 in the afternoon. And I know that might sound crazy to you. It sounded crazy to me at first until I eased into it. I would keep pushing breakfast a little bit further. And breakfast, if you break it down, what does it mean? It means break your fast, right? So stop thinking of breakfast in terms of pancakes and eggs and bacon or your bowl of Lucky Charms or whatever. Start thinking of breakfast as when you break your fast. So that can be at 8 in the morning, it can be at 1:30 in the morning. Figure out whatever works for you and you can ease into it. But I would suggest getting into that 16 off and 8 on schedule of eating. That's what's worked for me the best. Find out what's going to work for you the best. Some people do a 24 where they only eat for 4 hours of the day. What this does for me, right, is once you get used to it, it's like every day is a cheat day. It's like in the morning, even if I get those hunger pangs, I just focus on something else. You know, I'm at work 5 days of the week, so I get into a task and just get deep into it and forget about the hunger, knowing that later I can eat. And when you have, even when you're in a caloric deficit and you eat that chunk of calories in an 8-hour window instead of a 16, it almost feels like you're eating a lot. And it's funny because at the end of the day, when I'm having a snack at 9:30 at night and I'm going to bed and I'm saying like, oh man, I didn't do too good today. I did. Mathematically, I hit a caloric deficit. And I'm telling you, since the end of February, I have watched that weight consistently drop while keeping my sanity, while eating what I want, without getting into the healthy part of it. But, you know, while eating what I want, if I want chocolate, I can have chocolate. Listen, if you like pizza, if you like beer, is that going to make it harder? Yes, because they're high calorie foods. But you can plan that into your diet. If you know you want to have 2 slices of pizza and whatever, what's pizza? I mean, pizza could be anything, but for the sake of this, let's say that it's a Friday night and you want to have 2 slices of pizza with your family. That's 350 calories each. You know you need to save that 700 calories for later. That's why intermittent fasting works. You do not have to, you know, keep yourself off of the foods you love, which in turn makes people fall off the wagon. Again, this video is about losing weight. This isn't about eating optimally for health. So, you know, I'm not promoting beer or pizza or junk food. I'm just promoting losing weight and how to get there, okay? So intermittent fasting, many different ways to do it. That's the way I do it. 16 off, 8 hours on of eating. My window is 1:30 to 9:30. If you want to make your window in the morning, you can. Again, it's very customizable to what works for you. All right, these last 2 are very simple. Consistency. All right. You need to be consistent with this. All right. Every week, every day is going to be a battle for you. 6 days a week, you are going to have to do what you need to do to hit your caloric deficit, whatever it is for your weight. And let me touch on that real quick. If you have more than 20 pounds to lose, you know, once you get down to that 20 pounds or once you get 15 of that 20, I would reset your goals. I would reset your calories and just keep stepping down. okay? But every day is going to be a battle. There's going to be a million distractions. There's going to be friends wanting you to go out to eat. Your family might want to order out. You know what? Eating out, ordering out, that is the devil during your weight loss journey. It's very hard to track your calories, and you know, restaurants don't make money on selling bland food. They want to make it taste good, which means it is loaded with calories. Okay? So, like I said, every day is going to be a battle. You need to be consistent with this. Every single day, you need to plan out your meals, plan out your calories. You need to learn how to track your calories properly. Use apps, use online calculators, read all of the nutritional labels, and then make sure you are measuring correctly. Does that sound like a lot of work? Yeah, and you probably don't want to do it, but you probably don't want to be at the weight you are at right now if you're watching me babble on this long in this video, okay? Once you get down to the weight you want, things can get easier. Until you get there, you need to put in the work and you need to be consistent. Okay, consistency is key. I have a video on that too. I'll throw these links in the description if you want a little bit more motivation, because I've done it, and I'm not where I want to be yet, but I've lost 30 pounds as a 39-year-old man, which a lot of people I know, they think, oh, I'm old and my metabolism's slow. Yeah, your metabolism does slow down with age. We are not using that as an excuse because the science and the math are very simple. Number 5. Perseverance. And I know these two might seem a little hokey to you, but they're not. I'm going to tell you why. Perseverance. All right, number 4 was consistency. So what happens when you aren't consistent? You might go a week and you might have gotten lazy with tracking your calories, or you might have had a night where something dramatic happened and maybe you eat as comfort and you down 1,500 to 2,000 calories in a night and threw yourself out of whack. And don't think that can't happen. It is very easy to consume a ton of calories very quickly, okay? That has happened to me. I have not been consistent since I've started. Not 100%. I've had some bad days. I've actually had 2 weeks where I actually didn't lose any weight, in 1 week where I actually bumped it up like 0.4 pounds, which, trust me, after 6 days of trying hard and failing, it sucks, okay? This is where perseverance needs to come in, okay? You have a bad day, you have a bad meal, do not let it sidetrack your goals. Let's say you have a bad meal, your first meal of the day, and you're already, very close to your calories for the day. That does not mean you give up on the day. That means you work your hardest to stay in check. You do not say, oh, I'm going to start again Monday, or I'm going to start again tomorrow. No, you are in this right now. You persevere and you start again right after that meal. You forget it. You don't beat yourself up about it. The past is the past. You move forward with your goal in mind. That is what perseverance is about, and you need that on such a long journey. We are not one of these overnight successes. We are not doing these 30-day fasts where you're going to lose 40 pounds. We are doing a very slow, consistent way of losing weight so that the majority of it is body fat and not any muscle that you have. You want to strip the fat. You don't want to strip everything and turn into skin and bones here. You're going to be, you have exercise as your number one, right? That is to have some muscle tone, because all that is going to help with keep your metabolism up during this caloric deficit. All right, persevere. So there's your 5. There's your 5 steps to losing the weight the way I did it. And like I said, I've lost over 30 pounds now. It's actually it's like 30.6. I would suggest, if you're serious about this, take these 5 and write them down and put them in your wallet. Wherever you spend a lot of time, post it on your fridge. That's a big one. I spend a lot of time at the computer as an online entrepreneur, and for my work, my 40-hour-a-week job. So I have that list at my computer, and it's in your face, and it's become part of life that way. And you remember, when you see these 5 things, they just become ingrained in your mind, and you remember why you need to do it. So that's it for me. If you guys have any questions, please ask. I'm on Facebook. You can ask me on my YouTube channel, and I'd be willing to help with anything here. And it's, I just want like-minded people, and I want us to go forward. I'm not trying to push you on the 100-day challenge because that is closed down now, but that was kind of the inspiration for me doing this. One of my goals during my 100-day is to inspire people to be better. This is one way I've been better in my life, and one way that I've been very happy with myself, so I wanted to share that with you. And hopefully, if you are in the same position as me and you want to lose a few pounds or a lot of pounds, you can use the 5 things I've used to make it happen for myself. If you like what you're hearing, guys, throw me a thumbs up, please, and I'll talk to you next time. And I might be going live tonight on Facebook. We'll see. Talk to you later.